Yes, guys, I'm back. 2 videos in one day. You know, when you do one late, you gotta start making up for them whenever you can. Here to give just a preview of the Texas-Oklahoma game. What else do I need to say? Texas lost to UCLA. How they can beat Oklahoma, right? I'm kidding. Well, I think in a way the UCLA loss was partly because Texas may have been looking ahead to this game. You know, Sam Bradford. Excuse me. Garrett Gilbert. His first time to ever play the Longhorn or the Sooners. So this is a pretty big game for him. This should have been Landry Jones' first time to ever play Texas, but last year, unfortunately, for all Oklahoma fans, Bradford went down with an injury after being sacked by Aaron Williams there on the second drive of the game for Oklahoma. So Landry Jones came in, played. He played as well as expected for a going up against his first real defense ever as a starting quarterback. You know, he threw 2 picks. They were both pretty blatant interceptions, I'll say. You know, obviously neither one of them should have been thrown. He should have been able to pull himself back off that a little bit. You know, we were looking like we were going to get, you know, maybe a top 10 matchup here going, even though I think both Texas and Oklahoma may be a bit overrated. Well, not now. Texas fell back 14 spots after one loss because it was a disturbing loss. But I've already done a video on that, so I'm done with it now. But you know, oh, sorry about that. But in this game last year, these were 2 of the top offenses. I'm looking at the stats now from last year's game. 311 total yards for Oklahoma, a team who, even without Bradford, was putting up numbers like you wouldn't believe. But Texas won this game for one reason last year. They had balance. This was maybe one of the only games last year that they had balance. They didn't have a lot of offense all around, but they did have balance. McCoy threw 127 yards and a touchdown. But then running the ball, Whitaker ran for like 71 yards in this game last year, and Johnson ran for like 40 or something in this game last year. And McCoy had a really good and big run at one point too. But this was a great game last year. You know, when I was watching the first quarter of this game last year, you know, I was hoping for another 45-35 type game. You know, it was just 2 high-powered offenses clashing. But it showed you defense makes all the difference. This game last year, there were 6 combined fumbles. Oklahoma fumbled it 4 times. Texas fumbled it twice. Landry Jones threw 2 picks. Colt threw 1. But this game last year was very frustrating. But this year I'm expecting to see a similar game. It's kind of this is the #1 rush defense. But the reason this team, I know Sooner fans, any type of fans can jump all over me for saying this. This is the #1 rush defense in the nation. At least prior to playing UCLA it was. But UCLA runs a pistol formation. That's a lot tougher to defend than just a straight up I or ace formation type of running game, or a single back, you know, something like that. It's a lot tougher to defend. And let's face it, Murray doesn't have a major explosiveness to his game. He's very balanced. He can be a great receiving back. In fact, last year he's the only receiver in the game to go over 100 yards in this game. But Murray's a good running back. He really is, but he's not that explosive guy. So he can get in there and grind out some power yards, but they don't have the offense for a grinded out power running back like Murray is. You know, he's a grinded out back. He's one of those guys who's going to wear a defense down, and in the fourth quarter he's going to he's going to take advantage and assert himself against the tired defense. But they don't have this type of offense. They pass the ball way too much for that. So Texas, obviously, I think Texas is going to, I can't say obviously because after losing to UCLA, nothing is obvious and certain, but I think Texas will shut down Oklahoma's run game here. And I think Oklahoma will shut down Texas' run game. I think this is going to be a game where two young quarterbacks are going to have a coming out party. Bradford has already had a very good game. Gilbert has yet to have that performance where Texas fans just go, okay, this is the future. I mean, if he had that performance, it was in the championship game last year. It hasn't been this year, that's for sure. But he's a young guy, obviously, and he doesn't have liberty to have control of this offense like Colt McCoy did as a first-year player here. They're trying to run a whole different kind of non-Texas offense. Texas hasn't run this kind of offense since Ricky Williams was here in '98. So that's why we're having some struggles. But at any rate, I think we're going to see both defenses shut down the running game, and we're probably going to see a game similar to what we saw. Let's look for an example here. A game similar to what we saw at Colt McCoy's sophomore season here at Texas. Sam Bradford's first year at Oklahoma. We see a moderate amount of scoring. But in the end, it will be the team that gets. Last year it was we knew, okay, the first team to really get something going offensively is going to win this game. And we knew the year before that, okay, the first team to really get something going defensively is going to win this game. And that's the way it happened both years. But we're going to see, I think, a moderate amount of scoring. I think we're going to see probably at least 3 touchdowns and a field goal from each team. That's why I'm saying that. Now, as a Texas fan, it's really hard to say this in good conscience, but I just don't see us having that player that's going to change this game. If somebody's going to change this game, it's going to be Cody Johnson. I don't think anyone on the defense is going to be a game changer because we already know both defenses are capable of great things, and they're going to come to play. So if someone's going to change this game on either side, it's going to need to be on the offensive side of the ball. And I think for Texas, if someone's going to change this game, if anybody is going to change this game, it has to be Cody Johnson. Not necessarily does it have to be, but I think it's going to be Cody Johnson. It's because he's the guy who's going to go in there and get those power yards that we need to just bang up Oklahoma and say, hey, we're here. We're fighting for every inch, fighting for every yard. So I think that's going to be who changes the game offensively for Texas. For Oklahoma, to be completely honest with you, I really don't know who's going to change the game. If I had to come out here and give a guess, it's not, going way out on a limb or anything, but I'm going to say it's how Landry Jones handles himself against easily one of the best secondaries in the country, with a lot of experience, a lot of talent. That's going to be how it is for Oklahoma. Landry Jones has to come out, and he has to play hard. He can't make a lot of mistakes because his defense is very talented, may just not yield an inch. So if you make one mistake, if you make 1 or 2 mistakes, maybe it may just be too many. So he's going to have to be the one that changes the game for Oklahoma. I know I'm not going too much out on a limb to say the quarterback, but that's going to be how it is because he's going up against a great secondary. Hook 'em horns. Looking forward to the game. 3:30 ABC.